Tales 38. Today's May 24th, 6:01 p.m. This time slip is from Sunday, May 9th, 7:24 to 7:53 p.m., 29 minutes. And at the beginning of my time slips, I used the name of the person that's involved with what I'm doing. So this has three names. It's Delta, Juliet, and Victor. Updated scanning buttons on copy machine, and then for Delta, changed login password. So what I do is connect remotely to one of their computers, then I can go to the admin console for the copy machine through the network and change the buttons on the scanner, on a touchscreen buttons, so that when they select scan for their own name, it goes to the correct computer. Well, in this office, those three people had moved to a different computer or different, they didn't move any computers from one desk to another. And their computers use generic login usernames. So when the buttons on the copy machine use their personal names, Delta, Juliet, and Victor. So the buttons on the scanner would go to the correct, to get a scan to go to the correct computer, you have to pick the person that used to sit at that desk. So I reconfigured the buttons so they would go to the right place. And then for Delta, I changed the login password at that computer. Now, keep in mind that we use generic usernames. So this new person came to this desk. Well, why couldn't they just use the same password? She was using the same password, but that password had as part of its makeup, it was using a family member's name of the prior person at that desk. Not just the name, it was a little more complex than that, but it was utilizing that person's family member name. So that just seemed kind of weird, awkward. So I changed that password. And then left, what did I do? I think I left a message on her screen indicating that I had changed the password to, and I gave her a hint that she would recognize, oh, okay, I know what password that would be. Because I didn't even tell her I was going to do that. And then also on Sunday, this was earlier in the day, 11:50 a.m. to 12:04 p.m., 14 minutes. This is for the Law Office W. Oh, I'm sorry, that last time slip was for the apartment building Mike. I don't think I had identified that. Anyway, here's the Law Office Whiskey. And for Romeo, phone and remote connection to discuss a duplicate folder. Determined data/clients was accidentally copied to data/admin/clients in July 2020. Investigated content finding there are files in the data admin clients subfolders that are dated after July 2020, indicating they probably belong in the original location. We'll use utility to move all such subsequent files to the correct location. So this is a thing that happens sometimes when users are connected to a server. Maybe they go in to open a file in Microsoft Word and their finger just slips just very briefly. It's so easy to move or copy a folder from one location to another location. Romeo had called me saying, hey, I found this clients folder underneath the admin folder. It doesn't belong there. The clients folder is still in the location where it belongs. I don't understand why that's there. Is this important? Should we check on it? Can I just delete it? I said, no, let me check on it. So I went and did some comparisons, and I found that there were files in the clients folder in the incorrect location that had dates on them subsequent to when that folder was accidentally copied to that location. I could tell when it was accidentally copied to that location because of the folder dates, because they all got reset to that 2020 date that I mentioned, whereas in the original location, there were a variety of different dates when those subfolders were created. So that's the kind of thing where, without getting a tech person involved, somebody could easily just say, oh, this doesn't belong there. Yeah, they seem to be duplicates. I'll just delete these. Or more often what happens is they just leave them there. And then somebody might be opening a file from their recently used list that is actually pulling from the wrong location. So they continue updating at that, and then somebody else might update it from the other location. And then you wind up with two files that have more recent content than what the original had. And it can mess things up a bit. And sometimes you just find, well, one way to solve it is to just get them all back into the original location. And if I find two versions of the file that conflict with each other, then I'll just add a 1 onto the end of the file name for one of those, and then add a 2 on the end of the other. Or another way to do it to make it more obvious to them would be 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. So that when they open that file, hopefully they would notice that. Whether they notice it or not, typically when changes, edits like that happen, they don't cause any major crisis. So it's not worth losing any sleep over. Oh, look at here what I did on the next time slip. On Monday, also for the Whiskey Law Office, I've got a time slip here showing 5:35 to 5:44 p.m., but the time on it shows 0. Typically when I start a time slip, when I start working on something, I'll create the time slip, put in the starting time, put in an ending time 1 minute after that, and then I'll start the text of the time slip. And when I finish that piece of work, I'm gonna have to call him back. I'm totally distracted there. I don't have a clue what I was talking about. Oh, the time slip. Yeah. So when I finished, I would fill out the times. But this one says 0. So that kind of implies that I'm not going to charge them for that. So let me figure out what this is. So this is Juliet in the office. Phone support regarding scam email, forwarded subject email to my account for tracking purposes. Yeah, so many of my clients, when they have a suspect email, they'll call me. And for some reason, I just decided I'm not going to charge them on this one. I did a little more digging into it than what was justifiable out of my own curiosity. So I just recorded that I spent some time looking at it, but I'm not charging him at all for it. So that sounds, let's see, maybe there's time for another. Let's see what the next one is. Jasmine, no, that one's kind of long. Let's hold off on that one. Okay, so I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.